The Adventure Call set has been interesting so far. We've followed 2 films with Old Shatterhand, and I've really enjoyed that. Now we're moving on to a brand new character played by Lex Barker, and that is Kara Ben Nemsi. And he is the main character within the Schut, the 3rd entry in the Adventure Call set, also known as Yellow Devil, from 1964. Now, having gone from the Wild West into what seems to be sort of Middle East, almost, it's a jump, and it's a jump that took me a second to settle into, and it just seemed to lose the stride that the set had with the first 2 films. It's not awful, it's just missing that spark that makes it something fun and enjoyable. For me, I really enjoyed Lex Barker as Nemsi. I thought he's got this really kind of look about himself. You can tell his kind of thinking. He is a good hero. He's given characters round about him that are really rewarding. He gets a sidekick who feels, or the sidekick feels that he's the main character in this story, which I really enjoyed. We have this British aristocrat and his butler who's bumbling along, and he is a character that seems to be ambivalent to everything that's going on round about him. He just wants to stick to his schedule and do what he needs to do, but there is a capability within that character. He's not useless. He can hold his own, but it's just the way that he goes through the world is really fun, and I kinda like that.
So, mein Freundchen. Silly, der Mann ist äußerst verdächtig. Sagt kein einziges Wort. Waren die Reiter da? Ja oder nein?
Nur nicht schreien.
The locations are wonderful, but it's missing the kind of theatricality that was in the first 2 films. Those obviously fake sets that added a lot of colour and vibrancy and just gave interesting locations. Not to say that the locations aren't interesting here. The vistas, the Wild West, or the Wild East as we have it, are really nice and it's interesting to look at, but they're not as fun as what's been given in the other movies. For me, the aspects that really didn't work within this story was the fact that it feels very formulaic. You can almost predict every scene before it happens. The settlers travel, there's an ambush, there's a campfire discussion. Repeat. We'll keep it going again.
Wie kommen wir hier raus, Silly?
Frag nicht so blöd, Idiot. Erst brockst du uns die Suppe ein und dann verlangst du von mir, dass ich uns über alle Berge verzaubern soll.
Glaube mir, ich hatte sie schon fast umzingelt.
Ach, hör auf!
It lacks excitement. The action sequences feel a little bit more restrained, not as chaotic as they were in the other movies, and this isn't a continuation of them. There's no standout set pieces that really stick in my mind, and it never really builds that momentum that it should have going forward. So the pace can feel really sluggish at times. There can be lots of walking and talking and travelling, and the film rather drifts than moving straight forward. Yeah, it's not great. The villain is the titular character, the Schut, and he is a man who looms large over this film. He has this great personality, or the great perception of his person hangs over every character in the film. He is this almost mythical robber. Nobody knows his real identity, but he's the puppet master behind everything that's going on.
Helfen Sie, Effendi, helfen Sie. Ihr Freund ist in den Händen der fürchterlichsten Mörder und Räuber vom ganzen Balkan. Den beiden Alatschis, vor denen kein Menschenleben sicher ist und die für den Schut arbeiten.
But you know instantly who this is. It's a trope we've seen done before, and when you've seen a few movies, you can pinpoint straight away and go, you're the Schut. I know it, there's not going to be any real surprises here, and there's no real menace in this villainous character. He doesn't leave a real impression, and he makes the conflict feel flat. You know that our hero, Nemsi, is going to discover who this person is, take them down, and move on to the next adventure. But even though it does that, it misses the the pulpy feel of the previous two films. I wanted something more adventurous, more chaotic, especially with the alternate title of Yellow Devil, especially with this larger than life villainous character. I was expecting more, but the film just doesn't deliver in that point. There are aspects of this film that I loved. The locations are pretty nice. I loved the secondary characters. The sidekick, who thinks he's the hero, was great. The British aristocrat with his butler is wonderful. He's a kind of character that could be annoying, but in the limited scope that it has in the film is really kind of fun, and I love his ambivalence to the situations that he's in, which I just thought was incredibly funny. It's not a bad movie. It's just not a good one either. In the set so far, this has probably been the one that I didn't enjoy that much. And to know that this character Nemsi is going to come in the next two films, I'm very wary about where this goes now. But yeah, the Schut, we're going to dive in, have a look at the extras that are on this disc. Here we are in disc 2 for the Adventure Calls set. After the movies, we have the Schut introduction by Sir Christopher Frayling, which runs for 3 minutes 22 seconds, giving an idea of them moving away from the sort of westerns into the Middle East as a location, and how the success of the Schut led to sequels of this film. And then we have a similar introduction by Sir Christopher Frayling into Through Wild Kurdistan, giving a little bit more insight into these discs. I think these intros are fantastic. This is the kind of thing that I would welcome in almost all discs, just a 3, 4, 5 minute piece, just introing the film, telling about its success, why it's important, and some key aspects. Making Karl May's Orient Cycle is an archival documentary, runs for 21 minutes 15 seconds. It's got behind the scenes footage, it's got talking heads, they're kind of overlapping with a voiceover that's explaining why he's moving into this area and the success that this person has had. We have a 51-second newsreel footage just talking about a film here and the characters and the actors, and then we have 2 trailers for these films as well. That's the extras for disc 2 of the Adventure Calls set. There we have it, the Schut. It didn't really blow me away. I kept waiting for it to kick in and become larger than life in this great adventure, and it just never quite got there. It's watchable, it's professional made, it's got some nice characters, it looks nice, but it's also really forgettable. So I do love the fact that it's included in this set, and we're going to get further adventures of this character, hopefully better ones. As an introduction, not great, a little bit flat, and I'd be curious to see if this was the first iteration of this character, or if there was previous versions before it. I'd love to know your thoughts on the Schut. Let me know in the comment box below whether you loved it, hated it, fell somewhere in the middle, how you're getting on with this set in general. As always, there is more content up there. You can see more of my stuff. In the description box below, there are links to Patreon, membership program, and manvfilm.com, always in which we can support me. Thanks for watching. See you next time.